It's Daniel Tarinelli, owner of Seventh Call, and today I wanted to go over with you the powerful method of follow-up and persistence. This is the sole purpose why people become average salespeople and get to great salespeople. The act of following up is the most important thing you can do. See, you can call someone and you can get someone to come in for an appointment, or you can have somebody walk into the showroom and they can buy a car that very day. But what separates the lucky salespeople to the consistently good salespeople is the follow-up. See, when you call someone and they say, hey, I'm not interested, or let me think about it, a lot of people just will give up after that call and say, oh, well, you know, they're BSing anyways, you know, they're a faker, you know, they're full of it. But what will happen if you continue to follow up with these people? You got to get a chance to build rapport and to get these people to open up to you. So if you can consistently call them and stay in front of these customers or potential prospects, they will eventually go from I'm not interested to waiting. And what you can do, if you have someone that is not interested or they're maybe a few months out, ask them a few more questions, get them to open up to you, and then all you need to do is you don't necessarily need to go for an appointment right then and there, because like I said, it's very tough to get somebody from a not interested to waiting a few months to, you know, buying a car that very next day. But if you can just get them to agree to let them call you again, to a callback, okay? Now, where a lot of people fall off is when they do get that call back, and then at this step here, if they get a voicemail, a lot of people will just give up right then and there because they'll be like, oh, that person really wasn't serious. They're probably not interested anyways. But in reality, that person may be eating a chicken sandwich, or they may be driving in their car, or they may be dropping off their kids at soccer practice. They could be doing a million different things of why they're not able to answer that phone. So what you need to do is, even if you get a voicemail here, you need to call them again, right? And maybe you get another voicemail, but then you call them again, right? And maybe he answers, and he's like, oh, I'm busy right now, call me back. If you can make it this far, why would you give up here of he answers and he's busy? If you were able to just call that person one more time, right? Maybe you get another voicemail, but you call them again. And right here, this is where the money is. But you need to understand there's a certain amount of work and persistence that's required to go through this whole cycle to get to this point right here, to where you took someone from not interested, you got a call back. Say, hey, I understand you're not interested. Would it be okay if I called you maybe next week or 2 weeks from now just to check in and see how everything's going? Sure, why not? You give them a call. Then you talk to them a little bit more about, hey, we do have these certain features that are coming out. We have these deals going on and such, whatever it may be, to create interest. Then you've gone through a couple of voicemails, you've gotten, to busy, then you got another voicemail. But if you can continue to follow up, I promise you, after a certain number of attempts, you're going to get an answer. And this is where the money is. That person now has heard from you a few times. He has seen your phone number call. Trust me when I say this. He has listened to your voicemails. And he finally answered again. And this is where, after all of this work, you still haven't sold a car yet, by the way. But if you can just focus on the next right thing to do and go for an appointment, set an appointment. You don't want to ask them, oh, are you ready to buy finally? Just get them, hey, just come in, see your options. If the numbers don't make sense, we don't expect you to do anything. And if you set an appointment here and just get them to show up, your chances of selling the car will dramatically increase because you have built rapport, whether you think you did or not, throughout this whole cycle here. Okay? And when you finally get this person to commit to an appointment, Think about it. You've already gone through his not interested. You already got through his I want to wait a few months. You've already persistently called and followed up with this person, and you finally got them to set an appointment with you. The chances of them buying a car are going to dramatically increase. So you have to be able to go through this cycle. You have to continue to follow up. Follow up is so important, and it's not only just calling randomly. You want to actually have a follow-up schedule. And I'm kind of going to fill you in a little bit of what we do here, how I train the reps, and how to consistently follow up, depending on the type of lead that it is. So you have a few different types of calls, right? You have an old sold customer, okay? That's somebody that purchased a vehicle from the dealership maybe between 2 and 5 years ago. Okay, then you have an internet lead, maybe 1 to 30 days old. And then you have an old internet lead, 30 plus days old. Okay, so when you call this person right here, and also customers, let's say no one's contacted them in 4 months, they bought the car, let's say 4 years ago, and you call them and you get a voicemail, right? That's day one. I would call them the very next day. If you get another voicemail, call 5 days from that. If you get another voicemail, call day 8. And if you get another voicemail, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. After 4 voicemails, I would go once a week until they answer. Anyone that's been in sales long enough, anyone that's sold cars for more than a couple years, they can witness, if they're good at the follow-up, they can witness a time where they have left over 10 voicemails and they have never spoken to the person, but they finally showed up to the dealership maybe 4 or 5 months later, and they asked for that person that was leaving the voicemails. The customers do listen to the voicemails. Believe me when I say this. They may never call you back, but they will listen to at least a few of these voicemails, and they know that you're trying to contact them. They're just not ready yet, okay? And they're not going to give you a call back. Some of them will call you back, and they'll let you know, hey, I'm not ready. But there are a portion of people that will listen to your voicemails, and they actually will not call you back. But when they're ready, they will show up to the dealership, and if you call them enough times, they will ask for you. So this would be the old sold customer call, okay? Somebody that may or may not be in the market. You still want to follow up with these people because it's only a matter of time before they buy a car again. Okay, unless they're, maybe 80 years old or plus, but there's still customers that are, senior citizens, 75, 80 years old that still trade their cars in. So very rarely somebody will say, and it'd be the absolute truth, that this is the last car I'm going to own in my life. It's not like you're selling like a jet ski or like yachts where people will go their whole life without owning one of those products. For the most part, everyone, a good portion of people, it depends on the area they're in, has a vehicle. And everyone that has a vehicle, the chances of them buying another car